The Amazon encompasses 9 countries in Latin America. More than half of the Amazon rainforest is in Brazil. Over the past 2 decades, Brazil has been praised for reducing the rate of deforestation, down by 80%. This success has global significance, both for species conservation and climate regulation.
Brazil is one of the few major world economies that's managed to develop without having cleared the majority of its forests. And perhaps one of the most remarkable environmental success stories of the last century has been the decline in deforestation in Brazil. However, in the last few years, the rate of change of deforestation has bottomed out, and we're starting to see less and less decreases in deforestation. And that presents new challenges for how to address and further reduce deforestation. Because SCI its purpose and its objectives are about trying to situate development opportunities and challenges alongside environmental objectives and environmental goals. So one of the things that we always try and bring is to work as closely as possible with partners in government and other organizations in business and civil society. So we've worked with the Brazilian government on a number of different levels. Briefly, we've worked in the state of Pará, in the northeast Amazon, helping to develop a new piece of legislation to govern the regeneration of forests on degraded land. We've worked at the national level to look at how can we understand how the patterns of deforestation relate to who lives in different areas of the Amazon. So who's responsible for the different ups and downs of deforestation that we see. And thirdly, we've worked at the scale of the whole country to assess what's the planned expansion for extraction of mineral resources and planned expansion of hydroelectric dams, and how does that relate to Brazil's what is really truly a world-class protected area system, and what challenges does that face? And that drew particular interest from Brazil's federal government. They invited us to be participating in a constructive debate in the Senate with Brazil's highest legislation council to try and identify what are some of the challenges that this presents and how can they make the most of these unique environmental resources but minimize the impacts on the environment and maximize benefits for Brazilian society.
Brazil is now at a crossroads where decisions taken today will have significant and cascading effects into the future.
Brazil is, as we know, facing many political and economic challenges in the coming years. And I think what's most critical for Brazil is it's already managed to demonstrate to the world that it's a leader in environmental conservation, not just amongst developing and emerging nations, but also globally. And it shouldn't carry the risk of losing that mantle. What I think the priority is to realize that the conservation and sustainable use of its unique natural resources is a foundation for its future development trajectory and should not be seen as a barrier that is liable to be ransacked in an unsustainable way, but instead it provides, if it's managed in a sustainable way, a real opportunity for a long-term development pathway that Brazil can sustain.